the very first ever. The thing about a live video is you got to start straight away, even though nobody's here, because
Gotta keep
you're,
going.
it's going to live on the channel after we're done. I got a notification on my phone. It just came up, said 6-pack in 30 days. It's time for exercise. Yeah, right. But yeah,
It's the difference between being creative
what's playing in my?
and being a creator.
Something's playing somewhere.
Between a
Do you hear that?
I don't think it's me, but I do hear it.
There.
Gotcha.
it was from my speakers. But yeah,
It's
okay.
because all the spirits are coming in, so all the electronics get messed up. Like, no
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, I pressed play on my speakers here, and I'm using my headphones. But yes, welcome people that are joining now, that are dropping in. This is the first ever what we're calling Breakfast for Dinner, where we're doing some lives every Monday night,
Yay!
9 p.m. Eastern time. And today I'm joined with Rebekah into the Akasha.
In the Akasha, Rebekah.
In the Akasha, Rebekah. You fine folks here may remember Rebekah from my first episode of Guess Who. I got to get my cereal going. It's breakfast for dinner. But
I didn't bring mine.
yeah, you folks might remember Rebekah from my first Guess Who episode. It was awesome. She came out all the way out to the studio and shot with us. And yeah, we had a great time. So today, we don't really have a whole lot planned, people that are tuning in. We're just going to kind of chat about some stuff. I have a couple questions for Rebekah. We might do a little reading. Who knows? We might see if we can, like in Guess Who, we might see who's around, if we can channel anybody. I don't know. That's asking too much, but
Chikatilo, last time, did you tell the story to your followers about what happened there behind the scenes with Chikatilo? Or
well,
was it not cut out?
I told people in the episode we go on about the fact that Chikatilo kept showing up.
Right. Okay.
Tell people. You tell people what happened there.
Well, I actually can't remember exactly the sequence of events. You're gonna have to refresh my memory, but I know that one of us I had Chikatilo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was my card. And then
it was time to draw for the next round, and you drew Chikatilo again. And I was like,
right.
No, we don't want to use the same guy. So then you drew a different guy. And then you passed the deck to me. I shuffled it and I drew a card, and it was Chikatilo again.
Yeah.
And then you said, what did you say?
Well, it's because I felt his presence when I initially drew that card. And we were like, that was kind of the intention. Like, all the energy stuff is all intention, right? So it was kind of the intention was to connect with some of these guys, as we have before. And his energy was certainly questionable.
Yeah,
like
he's a deranged, like he's a child unaliver. I would certainly hope he would have questionable energy. But continue. So, what did you feel? Well, we're talking, for those just joining, we're talking about Andre Chikatilo and how he kind of infiltrated our game of Guess Who. Continue, Rebekah. Sorry.
Honestly, Josh, it's been very fascinating getting together with you over these last several months and looking kind of on the other side of the veil at some of these guys and women, right, who have done some pretty horrendous things in their lifetimes. Most of them are crossed over on the other side, right? And so, but here's the thing, and I think it's important to note this. Not all of them are evil, dark souls. A lot of them, it's like this lost soul energy where they just, because life is all about utilizing your free will to make decisions, and one wrong decision after another wrong decision, and it's also environmental, right? So a lot of what's going on environmentally and all of that, trauma in childhood, we know the sad sap serial killer story, right? And so I felt that with Dahmer, because I connected with Dahmer. If you remember, we weren't recording, but I connected with Dahmer initially. And then we brought in Gacy on the episode, and he was kind of an in the middle kind of energy as far as the darkness. Dahmer was just so lost and so full of guilt, and I think we can see that a lot in his story, you know, and stuff like that. Some of the, but Chikatilo was like dark.
Chikatilo,
Like
yeah, he's
there were not.
the worst.
It's like you kind of like learn your lessons. You do a life review at the end when you cross over, and you're supposed to come back and deal with that karma.
Uh-huh.
And that didn't feel
Wait, you
like
do a
that.
sorry, say that again. You do a life review.
You do a life review. So
Okay,
when we
so
cross
that's
over,
like the idea. That's like the idea. You get to the pearly gates. God says, "Okay, let's do a life review." So if you're Andre Chikatilo and you get up to those gates, you're shitting your pants. You're like, "Uh oh."
well, the
Life
thing
review.
is,
This isn't gonna shake out. This is not gonna shake out in my favor. This is not.
yeah, but like we're not kneeling before God. Like that's not a thing.
Well,
It's
someone's reviewing.
but we're reviewing ourselves. We're reviewing our own behavior with a team of guides.
Okay, wait. Okay, team of guides. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I always got accused of cutting people off, and
It's all
in the
good.
guest,
It's all
but I was
good.
like, I have to. That's the name of comedy, man.
I'm
But
used to you by now. It's all good.
so reviewing yourself now. You think these guys are going to give an honest review of
They have
themselves?
they have
They
no
have
reason
to.
not to. No, they have no reason
Okay,
not to because they're not facing judgment or punishment.
interesting.
But on the soul level,
Mhm.
naturally the soul wants to do the right thing. And so we come back and reincarnate again to even out that karma, right? To
Okay,
balance out that karma, that karmic energy. Um, but some souls who have moved far enough into the darkness through a series of making those sort of not great decisions over and over and over again, they
right.
don't necessarily decide to come back and even that out right away. They may have to go through a bunch of other sort of dark, dense experiences on the other side, incarnating and maybe, you know, living lives where they are, you know, in service to self rather than service to others. It's
Yeah,
all about that polarity, right? So I think I remember saying this when
I
we were
remember.
filming, but it felt like he was in a bit of like a purgatory, like he hadn't fully crossed
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Didn't we say that?
I kept saying because you would say like you were saying like it feels like he's in purg. I was like, you mean like Russia? And you're
Oh
like,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you would just ignore me and you would continue on. You'd be like, no, like some really kind of dark.
Because
And I was
when
like, yeah,
I'm
like
tuned
Russia.
into the channel, man, I gotta go where it takes me. And also every other word out of your mouth is a joke. So
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love my jokes.
we got a question from somebody here that says, how does one necessarily connect with a serial killer? Does it have to do with the atmosphere or the space that you're in? Question mark.
So if you're gonna connect with anyone that's crossed over, it's just about setting the intention that you want to connect, right? So I've connected with Michael Jackson, I've connected with Whitney Houston, like stuff
Whoa.
like that. Yeah, it's really cool. Um, I would really advise using caution when you're not um, experienced and you're wanting to connect with people who have lived very dark lives. I
Yeah.
would definitely exercise serious caution. I cleared the whole space. This is a cleared space where I am now, but the whole space where we did the recordings, I cleared afterwards. So it's heavy
Well,
energy.
I had a question about that because you cleared the space. Now
Mhm.
this did it. I did a second episode of Guess Who. We have another question from Tamara. I'm going to get to that right after this. Um, you said you cleared the space, but I recorded another episode of Guess Who like a month later, I think, with she was a clinical and forensic psychologist. It was an
Yeah, I
awesome
saw the
episode.
episode. It
Yeah,
was great. Yeah, it was
it
great.
what it was great, but what didn't make it into that episode was uh
Uh-oh.
me on our second round. I went to draw. She had
Was it
Chikatilo the first time.
Chikatilo?
She had
Oh
Chikatilo
my
the first time,
god.
and then I went to draw and I drew Chikatilo
You are
again.
cursed. You are
And I like
cursed.
I screamed at the other camera and I was like, Rebekah, I thought you cleared the space. So why was he back again? Maybe you didn't clear it.
Well,
maybe he's that sick of Russia. Can you blame him? Anything is better.
Well, I think that when we talk about someone who's crossed over, even if it's like a family member, a famous person, they're immediately with us and aware because there's no time or space. So it's just like you're plugging into that frequency by acknowledging them almost. Right? So
Cameraman Eric just joined and says in caps, it was rigged.
It was rigged. The game was rigged.
Here's the thing. Here's what you didn't know. Every single card was just Chikatilo.
No, it wasn't. I was there.
When I was a kid, I had a magic set of cards. So I could pick a card, any card with somebody, but every card in the deck was just the ace of hearts. So you'd fan them out.
You're the worst kind of kid. You're that kid.
You fanned them out face down. They'd pick the card. They'd look at it. I say, set it back anywhere in the deck, and I'd go, okay.
How many decks of cards did you have to buy?
No, it came that way. It was a trick.
Oh, it came that way. Oh, okay, okay. It was a trick deck.
All right, back to some questions from the audience here.
Okay.
Tamara says, are we able to see lives after they're done? Because I'm missing some good stuff here going back and forth to work and to my phone. What? I don't.
Wait. This, the live recording.
Oh.
not past lives, you weirdo.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, that doesn't make sense. She means the live. It's the same word. Lives.
But okay. I knew what she meant. The answer is yes, right? You're gonna have
Lolanda Enrique. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Do you only connect with the dead? Would you be able to feel a certain dark energy right now, for example?
Yes, I'm a psychic medium, so I actually don't do a ton of mediumship anymore. I do a lot of like energy clearings. I also have students where their gifts are coming online, and so we're working together to help them learn how to work with their own energy. And a big part of working with your energy is recognizing when there's energy that's dense or dark and not supportive. And so, yeah, I mean, I've cleared some pretty nasty entities from myself and from clients, from students that I work with, for sure. Yeah.
This is where I wish I had that keyboard with sound effects. I could play the X-Men theme again, like I did because you're like Charles Xavier with
that's
your school of the gifted youngsters that you're training up. That's what she is, guys. Yeah. I asked her. We talked about that a little bit in the episode too. It didn't make it into the edit, but you mentioned this school, and I was like, "How do you find these kids? Are they just like?" And you said they come to you, and I was like, "What? They just show up on your doorstep on a rainy night? Like
they're not like children? First of all, can we just clarify? I do not work with children. No, they're students. They're adult students that are wanting to learn how to work with energy.
Can we call them gifted youngsters, though?
If you want to, Josh, you absolutely can.
Okay.
You absolutely can.
Okay. This person says Sage works well. Okay, I got a question. So, for those watching now too, you may have seen me over on Instagram talking about the current little ban that happened.
Yeah.
We're appealing that. I'm appealing that, but yeah. So I thought maybe we could talk a little bit future of the channel. What do you see? What do you see in the future for the channel?
So I'm just.
You're checking. You're looking.
Yeah. I think that the ban is, whatever this thing is, this. It's
only Instagram.
Yeah, that'll be fine, and you'll get that back. Feels like within a month or so, maybe 6 weeks. It feels like it's going to be kind of an arduous process, but do it because I feel like they're going to lift it, and that way you can start to reach more people because you can only reach your followers now, right? Your subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fine, but I actually feel like the place that you're supposed to be is YouTube. Like that feels like the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
doesn't feel like TikTok or you know what I mean? But let me just look at like numbers.
Speaking of, not speaking of, but California, Jesus.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I actually predicted that fires on the West Coast 4 or 5 months ago. I saw that coming.
In all fairness, there's fires out there every 3 weeks. No,
These
sorry.
ones are
These are massive. Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny.
thanks.
Yeah.
You're making me look great. No, these are really big fires.
I
And
saw some of the footage is insane.
yeah, like they've like abandoned their cars and like on the road and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, someone says I believe you're much better here with your content. So yeah, with the YouTube thing, I do see several thousand more followers, or is that what they call it on YouTube? Subscribers.
Subscribers.
I find that YouTube, it's interesting because I find that YouTube is the hardest. I don't, like I've
Oh
told
yeah.
you before, I don't put a lot of energy into my social media content. I think I have like 170 something subscribers on YouTube. I don't
Hmm.
really, and then I've got like 800 something on
Right.
Instagram and 3,000 something on TikTok.
Right.
Hang on a second. I feel like you're going to probably increase between 8 and 10,000 subscribers on YouTube definitely within the
During
year.
this live. Oh.
Within the year, I
Yeah.
don't see like immense growth, but they're talking about possibly a shift in content. I think that there's a certain amount of people who want this content and that's it. I don't think it changes. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it feels like it's still this platform, it's still this page, it's still breakfast cereal, right? Like,
Yep.
but there's a shift in content, and they're saying you're creative, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Um, and I think
Yeah.
that shift is going to be coming sometime towards the end of the year once you have a significantly larger following.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we're trying
yeah.
new stuff. I'm trying new stuff. I got a bunch of new things coming too. Somebody just asked, when are you going to make a video on Macabre, the band? So I actually just followed them on Instagram,
I don't know
and
who these are, who
they're
these guys
it's
are.
they're kind of like a speed, like I don't know if you want to call it black metal or death metal or speed metal or like parody metal. I don't know, but
Okay.
they're a band that does songs about serial killers. So I don't know. I'm
Really?
checking them out, and if I dig the stuff, I'm gonna drop them a DM and see if I can get a conversation going with the guys. And I know that they're not actually based too far away from me, too far. Like
Oh, are
they're
they Canadian?
no, they're American, but they're driving distance.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool.
I
That would
did
be cool.
so. I mean, I could have them out for something. Maybe that'd be pretty cool.
That
Um,
would be awesome. I love that
but I
idea.
mean,
That
th-
feels
there
very in alignment for you.
just depends on whether or not that's something they're interested in, or whether or not I like the stuff when I listen to it and check it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um
Um,
who is that guy? I know you know all the guys. There was a guy and um he had like dreadlocks and he had like tattoos all over and he buried a bunch of people in his backyard. Do you know who I'm talking about?
no,
Young guy.
I don't know.
Anyone know who I'm talking about who's
If
on
you know who
here?
she's talking about, dreadlocks.
Yeah, he had dreads. He
Sounds
had
like
like a
everybody I knew in high school. But
no, he was a white guy. He had
yeah, I know all the white guys that I knew in high
did
school
they?
had dreadlocks. Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
I think
Um
cameraman Eric had dreadlocks for a long time too. He's got the tattoos, so
I
yeah, he
forget
seems
his
like the
name, but I know
dreadlock type.
exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, he had like the insane clown posse type vibe to him.
Oh, that's like the worst vibe you could ever have.
It's not a good vibe. Like it's not a vibe that I vibe
Are you sure you're
with.
not talking about? It sounds like Gacy again, but Gacy didn't have
No, it's not.
dreadlocks.
No, it's definitely not Gacy. He's a young guy. He was a fit guy. He was actually a good looking guy underneath all the makeup and all that. No, not Rob Zombie. I'll Rob Zombie. See, people know. Someone go Google it because I can't Google on my
Okay,
phone
yeah,
right
get
now.
out there and find out who this is. It's a dreadlocked man, young guy
And
apparently, who killed
he
a bunch
had.
of people and buried him in his yard.
It's not Insane Clown Posse. It's Insane Clown Posse vibe. Like, and apparently when they went in and
Maybe are
found
you
the
talking about
house,
who's Insane Clown Posse vibe? You got that Sweet Tooth from the game Twisted Metal on PlayStation.
no, Wade Wilson.
It's not Wade Wilson. He didn't have dreadlocks. I know who Eric's talking about.
No,
And
that's
Wade Wilson's the pretty boy. He just
he.
killed two. He killed two people.
When they went into the house, it was like a hoarder house, but there was like it was like human excrement and sacrificial stuff.
Still, it's like 90% of them.
90% of them. Oh my
There's
god.
always human excrement around, man.
Yes,
Always.
it's
None
a
of these guys
thing.
live in like nice. Well, I mean that's not true. Okay.
Bundy was pretty hygienic and
Yeah, I was just
pretty,
gonna say. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
pretty well put together guy. So yeah, so I think you're gonna see a shift because honestly, and I can't like not mention this, but there's a massive shift coming on the planet. And
The
people
fifth
are,
dimension.
yeah, you remember, Josh?
Of course, I remember. There's
I love it.
no debt. There's no money.
But there's also no love of low vibrational things like serial killers. There's a fascination. And what they showed me, and this is really interesting, what they're showing me is it's more of a point of history that people want to know about this stuff because it is so foreign at that vibration in that reality. It's so foreign. Trying to see if they're figuring out who this guy is.
Tyler Cheeseman wants to know if there's TikTok in the fifth dimension. There's not even going to be TikTok in the States in a few days, let alone the fifth
No,
dimension.
all social media is going to be, it'll be gone. It'll be gone. But
So why are
yeah.
we even bothering with this live? I guess because why not?
Well, no, here's the thing. This is the shift that I'm telling you about. I think that the people who are going to be, I think that the number of people who are going to be interested in this stuff is going to increase exponentially because of this, because it's such a niche. It's a historic, it becomes historical. Serial killers become a thing of the past, right? And so, and you're an expert,
Well,
right?
no, but
You're not a psychologist, but you know all these guys and you have this information. And that's where
I
I
know
see
as
the
much as
shift
anybody
being.
else. But yeah,
You know more than I do.
yeah.
And I work with dead people.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Olivia says, I have no idea how you don't have millions of subscribers.
I don't understand either, guys. So I don't know a lot about, and this is one of
I
the
don't know,
first things I
Olivia.
told Josh when I met him, because I was on the page, like I was a fan. Like I really enjoy the content. And one of the first things I said was like, how do you not have more followers? Because the quality, the editing, like everything, it's super, super professional. And obviously I know that you have a background in film and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
people
Well,
like I literally put my phone on, press record, and that's my social media video,
Well, here's the thing. Here's my view on it. I view it as it's a long game. It's not a overnight type of success thing. And what I don't want is fleeting overnight success based on some random piece of content that I make that I'm not behind.
I know.
Excuse me. So the whole like this play of like I'm always going to only release stuff that I'm really can get behind, that I enjoy making, that I like, and I'll live and die by my own content. So if people find it and enjoy it, and I grow that way, and it takes longer to grow, but I get there, I'm going to be so happy because I'm get to continue making stuff that I love. I'm not going to switch and make a bunch of stuff that I know will just instantly take off, and then I'm stuck having to make more of that to feed the audience, and it won't make me happy.
I feel the same way about the readings that I do for people. I want it to be as quality as I think I found the guy.
Eric says Pazuzu.
Pazuzu. That's it. That's it. You got it. That's it. That's it, Eric. You got it. It's Pazuzu.
I was gonna say Eric can win the boxes, but no, he can't. He's cameraman Eric.
Eric.
Also,
yeah.
we'll talk. I'm
Have
going to
you
do a
done
giveaway today. We'll
Okay.
talk about Pazuzu in a second. I just want to talk about a little
Okay.
giveaway.
Okay, go.
So,
Go.
as you guys all know, I've made these boxes. These are them. These are the professionally created boxes. I've got 5 of them. The end of the live today, I'm going to give them away, and I'm going to let Rebekah choose. And she doesn't know how she's going to choose. She's a psychic, so she should know already. But anyways, I'm going to let her choose. This is the Dahmer box. As you can see, they come flat. They ship flat. They just have a little peel away thing here to stick. On the back of the Dahmer box, you got a maze here, and it says, "Can you get drunk Jeff to the liquor store?" And on the way, you have to look out. There's Jeff there, and on the way, you got to look out for things like his dad Lionel. Mannequins. Don't get distracted by the mannequins. Look out for the booze bottle. Stuff so like that.
Ridiculous.
You got Ed Kemper box, okay? On the back of Ed Kemper, what do you got? What did Ed Kemper do with his mom's head? No, not that. He threw darts at it. So, 2 darts inside. They don't come. You have to get your own darts, but there she's on the back. That's crass, I know. Eileen Wuornos, America's so-called first serial killer. On the back, what you got? You just got to color me. Just a bunch of beer. She loved beer. The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
Oof.
Here you have, do you want teeth like Ramirez? And it says, each bowl of cereal contains 300 grams of sugar. So go ahead, have seconds. And don't forget to not brush your teeth. You got John Wayne Gacy, the clown. What was he famous for? On the back, he buried people under his house. So put your cereal bag inside here. These don't come with cereal. You cut this little square out here, and then inside, the goal would be to have little people inside the cereal. So you would like see the cereal through here. You shake the box around until you find a body.
The mind on you, I'm telling you.
Anyways, I'm going to give all these away, and I'm going to give them all away to one person. One person's going to get all 5.
Oh.
If you want them. Some people don't want them. That's fair enough. But one person's going to get all 5 at the end of this. So hang around. I think we're going to go for an hour, right?
Cool. Yeah. I think I fucked up my search history looking for this serial killer guy now.
Okay, so yes. Back to our guy. What about him?
Pazuzu. So hang on.
Pazuzu? That sounds like he was like the...
You never heard of him? I'm so surprised.
No, it reminds me
Pazuzu,
of Lion King.
Algarad.
Sounds like the Lion King.
Here, I'm going to read this to you, okay? Was
out
an American
of Egypt,
murderer.
Out of Africa, I wouldn't hang about.
I love that movie.
That's
such
Zazu.
An 80s kid with all the Disney movies.
Yo, when I saw Lion King in theaters, one of the worst days of my life, scariest days of my life. That's another day. That's a story for another day.
The scene where Scar let Mufasa go.
Yeah.
It was traumatizing for me.
The movie didn't bother me. Something that happened in the theater itself bothered me that day.
What?
I was a small kid. I can't tease that and then not tell the story, but I'm not going to tell the story. It's not a good story.
All right.
Sorry, folks.
All right. I saw The Little Mermaid in theaters like 12 times when it was in theaters.
Okay, I did not. I saw the first movie I ever saw in theaters was Beauty and the Beast.
See, that's what I mean. We're such Disney kids being born in the 80s.
Tyler Cheeseman says, I heard that movie was fake. What? This fucking guy. This guy's got a real attitude problem.
Oh, my cat's name is Pazuzu. Oh, it's the demon from The Exorcist. That's right.
Okay, Ava Adore, as in the pumpkins, Ava Adore. I used to like that too. Pumpkins. I used to have a Zero pumpkin shirt. I should get that back.
I have Hakuna Matata tattooed. I love that. Hakuna Matata.
Who does?
Yolanda Enriquez.
Oh, yeah. What a wonderful phrase.
I'm the Little Mermaid. I love it. I have mermaid hair.
Betty Kruger says she has a Disney quarter sleeve.
Ooh, I love that.
Featuring what? There, Betty Kruger.
That's what traumatized.
Lion King was your first movie, eh? Cool. So here's the story about going to see Beauty and the Beast. Okay.
Okay.
I have 3 siblings, 2 older sisters, 1 younger brother. My dad's gonna take us all to a movie, and he says, "Okay, I'm gonna let you kids decide which movie you're gonna go see." This is the first movie I think I ever saw in theaters. He's like, "There's 2 options. There's, Hook." Remember Hook? Also, like, my favorite movie.
With Robin Williams? How
Yeah,
could I
yeah,
forget? I watched that on repeat. That
and
movie is
Dustin Hoffman
fantastic.
Dustin Hoffman is Hook.
Oh, yes.
Anyways, my
So
dad's like, "You
good.
can go Hook or Beauty and the Beast." I'm like, I think it's 1992, so I'm what, 6, 7, 8 years old. 8-year-old boy doesn't really, at that time anyways, 8-year-old boy doesn't really like the sounds of Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, I voted for Hook, and my 2 sisters voted for Beauty and the Beast, and my little brother, the traitor, sided with my sisters, and I went and saw Beauty and the Beast. Turns out, Beauty and the Beast way better than Hook.
You think so?
Awesome movie.
Oh my
Oh yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bangarang.
yeah.
Hook was
Bangarang.
so good.
Hook is amazing, and you know what? It's one of my favorite films. And I did go on a rampage of in later years, like when I was in films, I made friends with a bunch of the Lost Boys from the movie, like the real people.
Did you seriously?
Yeah,
That's
so
such a Toronto thing.
I
That's so
chat,
funny.
I chat with these guys from the guy who played Thudbutt.
Which one was he? I don't remember
The
which one.
biggest, the big guy who
Oh,
rolls
the
down the
big
hill
guy.
and who gets the
Who was
pan
the
sword at the end.
Rufio? Was Rufio the bad guy who turned good? The bad lost boy who turned good?
Well, he wasn't a bad. Yeah,
Rufio!
that's Dante Basco. That's his name.
I didn't
But yeah,
realize you guys were close.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, Hook was like my favorite movie. Oh man, but Beauty and the
It's
Beast.
such a
But
good
Beauty
movie.
and the Beast
I need to
is
watch that
actually
movie now.
is a better film. Hook is a good movie from
Yeah?
from a nostalgia perspective. Like I'm just like, but if you like look
Yeah.
at it like from like a an adult perspective as like, is this a good movie? Not really. It's entertaining, I guess, but it's got a lot of like stupid
First
shit to it.
star to the right and straight on till morning. Is
No,
that what it was?
second star to the right, straight
Second
on till
star to the right.
morning.
I was so
The
close. I
best,
was
the
so
best.
close.
So, yeah, got to fly, got to save Hook. Where he's like, Hook is back, or it's snowing, and then he slams the door in their face. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Can we
Anyways,
just do it? Can we switch to Disney? Just straight up. No more serial killers.
I'm
We're
gonna
on Disney now.
I'll turn the channel into just just change the title of the channel and just do Disney movie reviews from now
Love
on.
it.
Or
I
I could
love
do a
it.
whole episode on Hook because he's technically a serial killer. Like, I mean, he's a pirate, but like,
He's a whoa, hang on. I never thought about that before. Like I've thought about how demented and warped Disney movies are in general, like especially the older ones, but
yo,
he's
even
a
Beauty in
serial
the
killer.
well, I mean, kinda, right? Like, well, I guess not. I guess not. But
No, and
like,
they just
he's
drop those
killing.
guys off the plank. Like
But
you're done.
he's killing for like he's more like a contract killer. He's not a contract killer. He's not doing contracts. You don't call like hitmen aren't really considered serial killers, right? He's killing for reasons for his like pirateness or something. I don't know,
For his
but
pirateness. I love
I don't know.
that.
It's not like he's killing to fill some like weird fantasy or some weird void in his life. You know what I mean?
You don't think that Hook became Hook because of childhood trauma, Josh?
Hook. Well, he became hooked because he got bit off by a fucking alligator.
Well, but
But
you know what I mean. I mean the persona. I mean the persona
Eric says for the booty.
for the booty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
The,
Smee? I always felt so bad for Smee.
yeah. Don't try and stop me, Smee. Smee, don't try and stop me. Don't you dare try and stop me. Try and stop me, Smee.
Try
Smee,
and
try
stop
and
me.
stop me.
Try
Yeah.
and stop me.
Smee,
So
get up off
good.
your ass and
So
stop me,
good.
Smee. That's Bob Haskins. Great actor.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I love it. I love it.
Here we go. Like I was thinking there was this time when I was gonna do, and I still might do it, like a series of like episodes in the original format on the couch, but like featuring fictional characters, right? Like
Yeah.
doing an episode on Darth Vader, like
I
in the same style
honestly,
as if Darth Vader was real.
that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I did one for we did a Die Hard episode, not this year, last Christmas. It tanked really bad, but I liked it. But
I want to see what else they have to say about your career on social media. I want to see what else they have to say about that.
Who?
Let's
The
leave
guy?
it open and see.
Star Wars Choppa.
So,
Choppa was cold blooded.
here's the thing, right? Like the guides don't, they have a sense of humor, but they don't necessarily have a sense of humor like we do. And so they bring through like a pretty like poetic message about the immense creativity that you have, that honestly, that it almost feels like as you move forward, it's very vague, but like you're going to utilize that creativity more and
You know,
more.
here's the thing. I I have so many ideas for this channel that are so big, and
You
I know
should.
I know that we have the team here, like between myself and because you know who doesn't get enough credit, I'll give it to him now. Cameraman Eric is like he's the
Eric
one
was
who
great.
Eric's the one who makes everything look as nice as it does, right? He's a talented cinematographer with a lot of experience and he owns all this insane gear for his company, right? And like he's a friend of mine, so and we've worked on all kinds of stuff outside of breakfast cereal back in the day, and like our work life outside of breakfast cereal. But I know that we have the talent between the two of us, and with anyone else that we want to bring in to really accomplish some like really crazy, cool, awesome ideas that personally I that that I think are awesome that I have, but they're
Hmm.
just not things that we can really do on when the channel isn't making any money yet. Right? Like,
Right.
but they're
And I think,
ideas that are going
I
to
think,
take time and a lot of effort, but would be a freaking awesome. And we'll get there. It's just going to take a while. And once that channel's making that money or it makes sense, or we have a big enough following that I don't want to waste
yeah,
some of these ideas on
yeah,
just
yeah,
you
yeah.
people.
You're so funny. I
Yeah.
think that by the end of this year, you're going to be in a very different energy. It's going to be like there's momentum now, but it's like slowly, the energy
Yeah.
sort of slowly, but I think that it's going to build, and towards the
Cool.
end of the year it's going to be moving in a nice direction because the guides are really talking about utilizing the creativity to the max because that's what you're here for. That's the past life experience that you brought into this life, was using that creativity.
Yeah.
um and
I
it's really interesting because the way that they show it to me is like we all channel our gifts. So like a pro basketball player, for example, when he's playing, he's channeling the energy of his gifts. And so you're the way they're showing it to me is actually really cool, Josh. It's like you're fully in the zone when you're channeling that creativity and coming up with ideas and thinking and moving different pieces around in your brain and trying to figure out how you could make it all work. And then this new idea pops in, and then you add it to
Mhm.
that, and it's quite complicated in your brain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seriously,
For sure. I'm very complicated brain.
very
No,
complicated
but
brain.
for sure, it's definitely like I'll say it. It's definitely my element. Like it's where I feel like making stuff like this and doing and coming up with ideas is where I feel the best. Like on just like on a personal level,
When we're
I feel
channeling from
it's what
that
makes me
high,
happy.
yep, when we're channeling that higher energy, it's for us and it's from our soul, our higher selves. Our higher selves already has access to absolutely everything in
Yeah,
existence.
yeah.
And so you're channeling through that stuff. And the reason that, the pro basketball player is so good, or the cellist is so good, they're channeling through the poet, the songwriter, they're channeling through that higher level um,
Hmm.
knowledge.
Hmm.
And someone, I just have to say, someone's on here talking my language. Ghost of Nyla. She's saying, or he's saying, I'm not sure, 2025 is a 9 year. This is paramount change for everyone. And this person is correct. This is a
Wow.
year 9. Last year was a year 8. Um,
She says 2026 is a year one.
it's a year 1. So it's 10 or 1 plus 0, right? So 1 is new beginnings. This year, like serial killers aside, is going to be the year of disclosure. I know you and I have talked about the fact that I channel galactic beings, the Galactic Federation, all that stuff. And this is the year of disclosure. And everyone who's been asleep is going to wake up to that truth. And then we're going to start fresh on this higher vibrational plane in year one.
Okay. That's going to be wild.
And that's what I said about the
That's
whole
what I said.
serial-
Is it going to hurt?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Sorry, you know what I mean.
Not to worry. You will be fine. We all will.
Right.
And
That's
you have
good.
so much love. Like, do you see how many people just love you and support you on here? I like that warms my heart for you.
Yeah, it's very nice. I you know, obviously we can't make anything without people's support. So it's the most important thing. I'm of the belief that the audience for the content is out there, and that the audience for
Eric is mean. Get
Yeah,
off, Eric.
Eric's yeah, that's classic Eric for you. You know, Eric will make you feel bad about the one thing you feel good about.
You have to manifest it. The law of attraction, man, it's a real thing. You got to manifest it. You got to step into the energy you imagine yourself being in when you're successful. Be in that energy now. That's how you do it.
Tyler Cheeseman and his meme work here too, or his emoji work.
Eric
the goat no cap.
The goat no cap. He sounds like my 15-year-old son.
Yeah, I think Tyler Cheeseman is about 15. I can't remember.
Okay.
Something like that. No, he's older than that. I know Tyler Cheeseman. He's made a lot. Tyler Cheeseman is the guy who made the thumbnail that you're in.
Really?
There you go. So you can thank him for putting those spirals around your head. That was his idea, not mine.
Tyler, you are an absolute artist. I
guess you could call him that. I would say asshole, but like I guess artist works too.
But I know Eric is great. He was actually so great because I was saying some weird ass shit when we were filming, and he's just like keeping his head down and doing his job. He was very professional.
Yeah, Eric piped in with a few comments. Remember, Eric said he's in the episode. He said because you said that the spirit guides were like, or no, that some of the serial killers were like in the waiting room or whatever, and Eric asked if they were subscribed.
Yeah.
Eric
it didn't seem like he liked to talk as much as you did. I mean, I guess that's your job in the duo, right?
Well, yeah, and he's doing camera, so like he can't just be behind the camera just blapping on at all times. Like he doesn't usually have a shortage of things to say. That's for sure when we're not rolling. But
you guys should do a live. I think people would love that. Just talk about the stuff you do.
Yeah, we could do that. He would probably, he'd probably be good. Eric's been in an episode.
He'd probably be good.
No, Eric was good. He was in an episode with me. We did an episode on playing Ed Kemper's childhood games. And Eric tried all the games with me. So, and he was good in that. It was funny. And no one watched that episode. It's like one of the best.
What were the games? Can you tell me the games?
So Ed Kemper, in an interview, talks about these games that he played. He's like, I used to play these games with my sister. And the games are like, one was called Gas Chamber.
Oh my God.
It's like when you're a kid and you go into the basement and you sit in a chair and you tie like your sibling to the chair and then you execute them like the state. That was one of the games. And the other game was, the other thing he said was like, I used to also go out and just lay in the street for kicks, lay in the street in traffic.
So which
one? He thinks it's funny.
So we did both.
Eric and I did both those games.
Oh my God.
And the point that I was making with that video, like the whole time I was just like not impressed by the games and having a hard time understanding what was supposed to be fun about the games. Right.
And like then any other child would be.
Unfortunately, after we released that video, I was watching some more Kemper interviews just fairly recently, and I realized that he talks about another game that we didn't try. So I might do another example of it, because he talks about another game where they would just roll somebody up in a rug and
Oh
then
my
leave
god.
and then leave them in the room and then see how long it take them to get out of the rug. So I might get Eric to just roll me up in an area rug,
You guys got to get Eric.
and
You got to
then
get a
we'll
really
have a
big,
competition.
thick, long rug so that he's
Yeah.
rolled like a
Eric
dozen
just
times.
Eric also just shouted out the KFC episode. He says it's an underrated classic, and I fully agree. I think the KFC episode's my favorite thing on the channel. And yeah, so eventually I want to get more into that. I think it's going to take people, it takes people a little longer who are into just the true crime element to kind of get
The humor.
not to get it, but I think to understand what I'm going for in some cases, like the
I
KFC
don't know. I
episode.
feel like you've made it really clear.
Well, the KFC
Yeah, that's
episode is pretty
personally.
straight. Have you seen the KFC episode by chance?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one where we try to make John Wayne Gacy's last meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just becomes about very quickly. It becomes not about John Wayne Gacy at all. It becomes all about trying to figure out how to make KFC, and that's what I love, making content like that. I love just allowing. And
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Totally.
I did write that episode. Like, I wrote it as far as like, we're gonna go from here to here to here to here, but I didn't write like the dialogue between me and KFC, Chill Fortnite Vibes. But I,
People really liked it. Look at everyone's like they love the KFC episode. They love the KFC episode.
yeah,
There's one
it's
person
a
who
good
says
one.
it's 3 a.m. where they are. They waited up for this live. Like that's amazing.
Oh, you'll
Lalonda,
yeah, that's awesome. Where are you, Lalonda?
probably in the
Within
UK or something, I would imagine.
3 a.m. So yeah, that's 6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're probably UK. Well, Britain's 5 hours right from here, I
It's
think.
such a great segue on making the recipe.
Yeah, it just that's the kind of content that I want the channel eventually. You see, we have to build, like, if you want my opinion about the channel, is that I have to build the following over time. Because right now, people are finding the channel by searching for a particular, let's say they're searching for a particular serial killer. They
Yeah.
type in their whatever, they see, oh, it's an episode about Jeff Dahmer. And then they go and they watch and they see this guy, me, doing the thing. And they either like it or they don't. If they like it, they check out some other episodes. Oh, I like the style at breakfast cereal videos. I'll subscribe and stick around, right? And that's how we're building up, by not by
That's how
people
I found
searching,
you.
not people searching breakfast cereal yet, but people finding content through the killer.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want to get to a spot where I have enough of a following here that
You branch out. Yeah.
it doesn't matter who we're covering. It doesn't matter if you've never heard of this killer because he's a small time guy. Because you want to hear that breakfast cereal
Well,
style video on this guy, and then I can start to do other stuff like
honestly,
these
Josh,
KFC episodes and all that.
this is
Yeah.
exactly what your spirit guides are talking about. They're like that creativity. It almost feels like you're in a box right now, right? Like,
Mm,
and it's obvious that you can kind of see the parameters of where you got to fit in right now, right? Until
yeah,
you build
yeah,
that following. But the creativity, like someone was just saying, Psych Karm was saying, I was watching it and totally forgot it was a last meal episode, right? You want to be able to
yeah.
do more of
That's what I
that kind
want.
of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So I do see that shift happening. I also see, and like I just can't pretend that I don't see it, but I see this historical reference person that you become. And I'm talking like 5 to 10 years down the line when the way that we look at this kind of stuff isn't necessarily humorous, and it's not wrong for it to be humorous now. That's just where we're at, you know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
totally fine. I love your stuff. It's just that the energy of the collective changes, but your role is still there and it feels very successful. And here's like the biggest thing, and this is for you and like anyone else who's watching. It's for me, it's for everyone. If we're doing what we are passionate about, abundance flows. We are in alignment. If you are excited about doing something, you are in alignment.
hmm
Um, and being in alignment just automatically opens those floodgates for abundance to come, financial abundance, relationship abundance, you name it.
yeah. That's cool.
You have a lot of US.
I would agree with that.
You have a lot of US fans, eh?
Well, the channel is the viewership is like 90% United States.
We're in Canada. Where's the Canadians? We love the Americans too. Where's the Canadians?
Well, maybe we'll all be the same soon.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty offensive, actually. But
the ego in it is so.
I can't believe. Well, we shouldn't get into.
Dumbfounding.
I'm not getting into politics.
No, we're not going down that road.
But yeah, it's
That's
pretty
not
crazy
what this channel's about.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I would tend to agree. Like, you know, and that's my philosophy on the channel. It's like we're gonna keep going at it as long as we're having fun and doing what we like doing, or I am. Eric just gets dragged along with me.
You have a way of like with your content of like being really crass about these guys that you're talking about, but like not sounding like a dick. It's like the way that you present it. It's like you're swearing and you're like, this guy's like crazy and like, you know, whatever, talking about how horrible these people are. But like you don't sound judgy, even though you're being really judgy. Does that make sense?
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. You know, it's important to me how it comes across, obviously, to people. I don't want to seem too smug, or I don't want to seem, because you got to understand to an extent. Like Eric and I talk about this a lot too. You got to understand to an extent. Like the guy on the couch with the robe is a bit of a character that I'm playing, obviously. Like, yeah, it's me,
but
like,
huge stretch for you. Though,
it's not a huge stretch, but at the same time, it is a. If you watch the latest one on that I did, it's a bit of a different style. It's on like on BTK's family. It's called My Dad's a Serial Killer or something like that. And
I'm gonna pull your channel up right now.
That's more like Josh. And then the other stuff on the couch is like breakfast cereal Josh.
Hang on,
so like I'm gonna start doing more of those videos. I've already written a few. They're more serious in tone to an extent, but they're still different than what I think is out there right now. Like, and that's what I'm always trying to strive for. Not just being different for the sake of being different, but it's like I'm trying to find some like topics that I consider to be fringe in this case, so that I don't see much out there in the true crime area. People talking about like serial killers' families. Like, there's not much out there content based on that. So I made a video about it. I've got another one coming out on defense lawyers. I'll give you guys a little peek behind the curtain. I'm writing one on defense lawyers. Yeah, super interesting. How do you become a defense lawyer? How do you end up a defense lawyer for these guys? Right. I know that some of them are appointed.
Money.
But what does that do to you as a person? What kind of things, you take your work home at night? Like, how do you feel about this? Like, like the impact it could have on your life, and why you would choose to do that with your life, and comparing it to other professions and stuff. So there's one on that. There's one coming out on, I'm writing one, right? I wrote one already. It's already filmed and edited, like 90%, called Where Did All the Serial Killers Go? And it's about, why does it feel like there hasn't been a Dahmer or a Gacy type since, well, like Dahmer or Gacy back in like the, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Like, there's major serial killers that have been apprehended in the past like 10, 15 years. We haven't no really household names. There's no Bundys, Gacy's, Ramirez. Why not? They got to be out there, right?
They got to be.
So there's a whole episode looking into that, right?
Yeah,
and it's
I love
like
that.
The whole point of those episodes too, they're not going to be stuff to how do we say it? They're not going to be like always giving you answers. It's more like, I want to ask the questions.
I like that.
And do I have the answers? No. Oh, am I still there? I pressed a button and something went on my phone, but I don't have the answers. Okay, we don't have much time left. What do you say? Should we try to channel one person?
Yeah. Who do you want to channel?
Let's see. Everybody, put your 2 cents in. Who do you want Rebekah to channel?
Who?
What about Mufasa? Don't
the
come
king.
now, crime. Duffy Strode. He's still alive. Duffy Strode.
Eileen.
Ed Gein. That's a good one. Eileen.
We've done Chikatilo, we've done Dahmer, we've done Gacy. Yeah,
Okay.
Ted. We haven't done Ted.
We haven't done Ted. BTK still
BTK,
alive. Still alive. Bundy, that's
Bundy.
2 for Bundy. Ted Cruz, the Zodiac. Ooh, that's a good one, but the Zodiac could very well still be alive.
But we don't know who the Zodiac is technically, do we?
Now, do you need to know who they are to channel them?
Well, yeah, I need to connect with that, and I need to, like, have set the intention to go, "Okay, whoever," like, with the name, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay, real quick for anyone who's just tuning in, we are about to Rebecca's going to channel someone. We're just asking for you to throw the who you want us to channel. It seems like we're going to try Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I wish I had my music again. I should get an organ so I can play the drone noise. And
Alright.
at the conclusion, we're going to be giving away these 5 boxes. So stick around. Okay, let's do it. Get your questions ready out there, folks. Are you channeling? Oh, he's channeling. She almost looks like she's frozen. Not the movie. That's another good Disney movie, though. Is she frozen? I think she might have got frozen, guys. That's a weird time to freeze, eh? She's channeling so hard, she's frozen. Oh, God. What did we do? We broke Rebekah. Rebekah, come back to us. Yeah, Bundy's like, nope. See, isn't that kind of weird? Maybe that's kind of weird. Maybe she's, well, I don't know. Maybe she's going to, Rebekah, hopefully she'll just exit and then come back if you can hear us, Rebekah. Imagine she isn't frozen. Oh, she's gone. She's going to have something to say when she comes back, guys. We got to wait for her now, don't we? The plot thickens, folks. The plot thickens. Wow. She says, lost my signal. She sent me a message on Instagram. I'm going to tell her to rejoin. I'm assuming she will. What do you guys think? Is that the Eric says convenient timing? Is it convenient, Eric, or is it terrifying? She says she's trying to get back on. That link might not work a second time. I don't know. We'll see. If not, I guess we'll have to do the box giveaway a different way. Bundy is interfering. You know what? Like, he got the electric chair. Maybe he's got, like, every superhero gets like a their origin story. It's always like the Sandman fell into that. Oh, she's coming back. Here we go.
My
So
sister dropped.
Bundy dropped you out, eh?
That was freaking weird timing.
I was saying he's like a Sandman got his superpowers. Like he dropped into that thing and all the sand blew around and like broke into his molecules. Bundy got electrocuted in the electric chair, so maybe in the afterlife he's got electrical powers and he like zapped your wife,
Yeah,
your router.
because we become superheroes in the afterlife. All right. Should I channel
Okay,
Bundy?
yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right. So I am just going to set a clear intention that anything that is not going to support my best and highest good does not have permission to enter into my energy. Place a protective shield of light around me so that only my spirit team, energy of the highest light and God are allowed in. Okay. Okay, well, the first thing that comes up with his energy is just it's interesting. There's an ego. I mean, you're just gonna make a funny joke about this, but there's an ego that is not typical of spirits on the other side, which tells you sort of how attached he still is to sort of the human version of his soul. Does that make sense?
Wait,
Because
say
we
again.
tend
That's
there
not what? There's an ego that what?
there's this ego. It's
Mhm.
almost like there's a boasting
Yeah,
about. I
of
mean, if
course
you
there
think
is.
about that's what I said about the joke. Like this is really an obvious thing, and I think that we saw a lot of this when he was like defending himself and all of that, right? Um in court, he decided to defend himself, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so weird when I look at these guys because, like with Chikatilo, for example, like I had said to you before, I don't know if we were live yet, but he felt like he was kind of in this, like what I would call like a purgatory. It's where when the soul has,
Russia.
yeah, you called it Russia, but but um when the soul has done very harmful things in an incarnation, there is a fear when they cross over to the other side that they will be judged. And so they don't fully cross over. This is
Hmm.
also really common with people who unalive themselves in an incarnation.
Okay.
Um, or, yeah, any kind of like really underhanded sort of crossing over.
Mhm.
So with Ted Bundy, it feels like he has fully crossed over. It's different than Chikatilo, but it's like he's right on the edge. He doesn't fully want to move into the spirit realm. And this is what I find so fascinating about looking into these guys, because the souls do something different than the majority of souls. These guys who were serial killers, these guys who've done really awful things, they make different choices after they cross over. So it
Can
feels
you?
like, yeah,
Yeah. Can you
go
ask
ahead.
him? Can you ask him?
I
Ask
know
him.
you're gonna ask me. I know you by this point, Josh. What are you gonna ask me?
Can you ask him what happened to his wardrobe? What he did with his wardrobe?
Did he
Did
have
he
a
get
good
to?
wardrobe?
He was obsessed with his wardrobe. Did he get to
Was
take?
he?
And
Oh,
did he take? How many bow ties did he take with him to the afterlife?
he has an infinite number of bow tie options in the afterlife. So yeah,
Imagine Bundy in the afterlife trying to get ready to go somewhere, and he's got an infinite number of bow ties and turtlenecks to choose from. This guy
there's.
is going to be at the mirror.
It's really
I
interesting
guess
because
it's like
I'm.
an eternity. He could spend like 1,000 years trying to pick out a fucking bow tie, and it would be like here on Earth. So big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we have to say. I'll make you uncomfortable. I have to say that. I have to say it that way so that the video doesn't get flagged for Josh.
this is true.
So is that funny? Is that a funny
Yeah,
thing?
he. I'll make you uncomfortable. He always gets upset with that stuff, but
Hmm.
yeah, don't kill my engagement. I'll make you uncomfortable, Robin. But yeah, continue. So what else about Bundy?
So
If you
there's
guys
this.
got questions out there for Bundy, drop them in. I want to. Anyways,
Like, guys, I
he's
can actually answer serious questions about him. Like, I can answer the funny questions
again. That's a
from
serious
Josh.
question. Serious question,
Right.
and also, I mean, I'm interested, but
Did
like,
he didn't have kids, did he? No.
no, he had a his girlfriend had a kid.
Okay, that's really interesting because he's showing me. Ooh, this is kind of creepy. But he's showing me going in to check on her. But it's
Wait,
not in like a weird serial killer
wait.
creepy way. It's like there's a soul. He's showing me a child that
He
he
may
goes
have
to
had a
check
kid.
on. Did he have a kid? Someone Google it.
That what didn't he end up impregnating a lady when he was on trial, like on trial or in jail somehow? He
He's
managed to like.
literally showing me going to visit someone who I don't think is a kid anymore, but it was he's the way they show it on the other side is as their child.
Okay,
So I honestly see a little girl and a little boy. So I don't know if this was like connected to like a family. It could have been like a niece, a nephew, something like that. But it is definitely like the generation under him. And these are these are people who are still with us, still alive. You bumped into my high school teacher at an airport in Alabama. Were you gonna make her a victim? Guys,
Is
they
that a
don't
true?
answer.
Is that a true statement? Psych crowd. But anyway, sorry. Continue, Rebekah.
No, I
They
was just gonna
don't
say
what?
they don't. You know, those kinds of questions. They like legitimately. There's no judgment on their end. It's just that they don't take them seriously. Like there's level of humanness is gone. It's just spirit. But spirit can be light or dark, depending
Or
on the experiences that soul has had. And because Ted Bundy has had some pretty dark experiences, not just in the life we know him as Ted Bundy, but his past life experiences inform, just like every single one of us, the the choices, the decisions, the perspectives, the experiences that we have in the current incarnation. And this
spirits
was
light
something
or
that
dark.
yeah,
Spirits light or dark or houndstooth.
plaid,
Yeah, sorry, continue.
polka dots.
Polka dots. He had some polka dot stuff. Yeah. All right, continue. Sorry.
Is that hang
What does he want?
on?
What does he want us to know? Like, if he comes into a thing like this, he comes in, you summon him, or you whatever, you channel him. Sorry. Um, why would he join? Why would he
Well,
come if you channel him?
it's actually a really good question.
We're channeling Ted
I
Bundy
wonder
right now for anyone
myself.
who's just joining. Ted
Do you
Bundy's.
remember? Do you remember when I channeled Dahmer? There was
Yes.
this resistance. Like he didn't want to talk about. I could feel that he didn't want to talk about the bad stuff that he did. Obviously, and he's trying to go through rehabilitation, spiritual rehabilitation on the other side. With Ted, can I call you Ted? No, I'm just kidding. With Ted, there is an energy of arrogance where he's like, I don't have to tell you anything. Like, I don't have to give you an announcement. I don't have to, like, it definitely feels like he's trying to control the narrative, control the energy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Sorry, Hell's Driad has a great question.
what is it?
Does Ted hate female spirits?
There's no gender on the other side. No gender.
Theodore, please.
I do, it's
Oh, Hell's
interesting because when
Driad's
I take
actually
like a
right.
more of a macro, a macro perspective on his energy, he's very much a loner. He's not connected or communicating with other spirits.
I
He's
mean,
alone, and that is so sad
but
to
it's so
me.
much like they were here on Earth too,
Yeah. Oh
because like
yeah.
these guys,
Yeah.
even guys like Ted, who seemingly, had relationships and friends and blah blah blah, they're alone. They're alone. Like they're lonely people. Dahmer was very lonely. They're all alone. They don't connect. Like you said, they're looking for connection. They don't
Well,
connect with other people.
most of them, I don't know if we've talked about this, but before I became a career psychic medium, I had my own therapy practice for 18 years. I was a registered, certified, board certified therapist. And I worked with psychopaths and sociopaths or people with psychopathic or sociopathic tendencies.
Hmm.
And I think this is probably one of the reasons that I am so intrigued by serial killers is the psychology behind it. Really is what I think interests me more than anything. Um and they don't operate with the same operating system that you or I do. They don't have the empathy.
Linux?
They don't
Are they on
have
Linux? Sorry, sorry, sorry.
You're
Continue.
not sorry.
Yeah. Who uses Linux? Anyway, DOS. They're on DOS.
um, what I will tell you guys is like these guys are very small energetically. They have these big energies, these big personalities when they're here. Like look at Charles Manson. You know what I mean? Like just this boisterous energy. When they cross over, they are so small and they can't hide it. They're like the way that I look at it when I'm doing mediumship and I'm looking at people who've crossed over is like there are two things written on a soul's forehead when they cross over, and it's either love or shame. It's like one or the other. And these guys have shame written right across their foreheads, and they're
Yeah.
so small because of what they've done. It's punishment enough, I guess, in a sense, because a lot of people say, oh, you're going to be judged by God and da 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 da. And that's not how it works. You judge yourself because you have that God energy within you. So
Betty Kruger says new face tattoo idea. It's just shame.
better than the Manson tattoo, right?
Yeah, true. One of my favorite parts of our Guess Who episode was when you were channeling Gacy, and Gacy said, "Well, things got out of hand." It's
Well,
like,
that
yeah,
was
fucking right.
so.
Things got out of
You
hand,
know what's
John.
so interesting though? I
Minimizing.
find this stuff so fascinating, which is why I take the opportunity every time you ask me to be involved in this stuff, because it gives me the opportunity to tune into more and to understand what these guys are on a soul level, and that's always where I go first with any person.
Right.
But the whole Gacy thing, what he was explaining there, and I don't think we fully got through it because of your jokes, but it's okay. It's all part of the show. But what he was explaining was like it was one bad decision after another, and it was like a domino effect. It was not the soul's plan to do that in that life. It is never the soul's plan to be a serial killer. It's bad decision after bad decision and the utilization of free will, right? No
Coupled
one
with like
has.
usually some sort of horrific abuse when they were young, and like
Well,
usually
yeah.
like
And that's the interesting thing, right? Is that we choose our parents and we know where we're incarnating.
you said that in
So
the episode. It didn't end up in the edit, but you said that you choose your parents.
we
Maybe, guys,
do.
would people be interested in seeing like an extended cut of me and Rebekah? Because I have like we talked for like 2 hours
Yeah.
in the episode, and of course cut it down to like the best bits and release like a 20-minute thing. But I could put out a full extended cut. Maybe I'll start a Patreon. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
No, I mean, and that's what he was trying to explain. I actually felt um compassion. I don't know if compassion is the right word. Sympathy for the soul of John Wayne Gacy. I certainly don't have any, there's no endorsement or, you can't excuse that behavior ever in any way, shape, or form. But on the soul level, the human component is gone, and there's just shame for what has occurred.
Right.
It's intense, man. It's intense. And
Yeah.
when you feel what that soul is feeling, you can't help but go, wow, that is really intense. They are paying for their wrongdoings. I guarantee you guys that.
Right.
How does
So
John Wayne feel about Gacy?
oh, that's a good one. Oh.
You gotta have Hell's Dryad on to start asking the
Yeah,
questions.
that's oh man, how
Breakfast
does
cereal. I hope you and Rebekah make more YouTube videos together. I'm new to your channel, so I didn't know you were both from Canada. Yes, we are.
Monkeyland? Have you seen the full version of the Guess Who episode with Rebekah in it? It's one of the videos. It's not too far back in my list of videos. It's a full length episode. But let me know if
Josh
you've seen that.
Josh gets in touch when he has a really weird idea.
Well, Monkeyland, you should definitely go watch that because it's a whole episode. It's like a polished episode
Channeling and
featuring channeling and discussion around everything. Hey, somebody go grab a link for that episode and pop it into the chat, would you?
yeah,
Or
that's
maybe I
awesome.
can even do that. Maybe I can even get that going.
That was honestly such a fun day. I had
It
so much
was.
fun doing
I might have
that.
to have you back. We might have to play a second round.
That'd be great. I would love it.
Uh,
Not in
because
the
like
winter. We have like 4 feet of snow here right now.
yeah, well, I'll just rely on your psychic abilities to pick a day that's not going to be snow, and then Can you predict
Do you
the weather?
remember the kind of car that I drive?
Yes. Can I say it?
You can say it. It's fine.
You drive a Ted Bundy mobile.
Yeah.
She drives a
No.
Volkswagen Beetle.
I drive a Beetle, and in the winter, it doesn't do super well on the 400
That's a Ted Bundy
series.
mobile.
Is it really? Oh, it is. You're right.
Yes. There, I
You're
just popped. I
right.
just popped the link into the chat, Monkey. Copy that and go check that video out when we're done here, and drop a comment and let us know what you think of that video once you're in there. Okay,
I have to
on that
dedicate
video.
more time to doing that. I always forget when I'm scrolling, and I really intentionally try to like and comment on things that I genuinely enjoyed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah. I foresaw this.
It's not. What did he? I don't foresaw what. I missed it.
Just I think in general, we're talking
Okay.
about psychic stuff. Um,
How come? I'll make you uncomfortable. How come half your messages get retracted? Is it like? Are you
my
commenting?
messages?
No, I'll make you uncomfortable. Are you making bad comments that are getting retracted automatically, or are you deleting your own messages? Tell me in the comments.
Oh, I can't see that part. Maybe only you can see that.
Yeah, it says message retracted. Like half the time Robin comments.
I don't
he's a
know.
he self described Manitoba hick, I think, right?
Oh, okay.
He calls
The
himself that.
bug.
I didn't make it
I
up.
foresaw this. The bug. Okay, got it. I got it. That's
So
funny.
wait, Ted's still here.
Yeah,
So doesn't
yeah.
Ted get annoyed? He's like, "Hey, you called me in here,
They
and
don't.
now you're
They're not
talking about all
waiting,
kinds of
Josh.
stuff."
There's no time. The
Yeah, I guess he's
time
just looking,
space.
just checking into his bow tie collection. Okay, so guys, a few questions. We're going a little long here. Are you still good for like, let's say 15 more, and we'll
I'm
end it at
good.
10:30? Okay, we'll
I'm
end at
good.
10:30. 10:25. We're gonna do the giveaway. All right.
Okay.
Um,
And what? So how does that work? Can you tell me how that works?
the
I just pick
giveaway?
someone.
No, we'll wait, and I'll make an announcement at
All right.
10:25.
Stay for the giveaway.
Stay for the giveaway. And if you don't want them, because not everybody wants them, just tell me. If I say your name and I'm going to give it away to you, just say, "Nah, no, thank you. I'll donate to someone else," and then we'll pick someone else, and then they can have them if they want them.
There are probably people on here. Who's Blondie? Are
Who's
we talking
Blondie?
about me or like Blondie? Like,
I still love that question. Hey, look who it is! Wednesday. Wednesday is along with Betty Kruger and Robin. I'll make you uncomfortable. Some of the OG channel followers.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Wednesday's awesome. She
Hey
helps me out with
guys,
stuff. They're the team, the band.
the
And I gotta
band
say, we should add Hell's. Is it Dryad or Dryad?
Dryad.
I thought it was a Dryad. Isn't that a thing? Like, isn't a Dryad like a being of sorts, like a forest thing?
That's a druid.
No.
That's a druid.
Hey,
Yeah, no, but it's
Dryad or
almost
Dryad. Can you
druid.
spell your own name phonetically in the
Yeah,
chat for us?
I feel like dry ad.
The second, that doesn't help. Is it just type it phonetically? I don't know what this. Dryads are
Dryads.
mythological.
Oh,
I
hang
only know
on.
them from a video game.
I think that's a druid. 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 It's like a Dungeons and Dragons thing. My son plays it. He's 15.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. Do you guys have any more questions for Bundy? I can just tell you that
Dryad. There we go.
you know what? Here's a bigger picture message here around this that the guys are bringing through. So, no matter how far into the dark, because we all start in the light, we all start right at source energy. We're not born in hell or anything like that. We all start from the same place, and it's
I was
through
born in
that.
Ajax, Ontario. That's pretty close. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. There's the
Sorry.
puppy.
I
Puppy.
shouldn't have interrupted you. Continue.
No,
I got
you're
it.
good. You're good. What I was saying was, so then what happens is we start reincarnating, right? And then through our choices, we energy kind of attaches to us and becomes part of our soul's energetic signature. So if we've lived a series of very dark lives, dark incarnations, we're going to have significantly more of that darker, denser energy as part of our overall energetic signature. And that's what's happened with these guys.
Mhm.
However, it's always full circle back to source. So no matter how far removed a soul takes themselves away from source, they eventually, and it could take eons, but souls are infinite being, we're infinite, right? Um, they do return back to the light, and that is always the natural progression of things. It's a law of the universe, of the multiverse. So eventually these guys make it back, but they're at a place right now where I would say the majority of them, at least the ones that I've channeled, the only one that I can see who like consciously wants to make it back is Dahmer. Otherwise, the other
Ooh,
guys, just from the 4 or 5 or whatever that I've channeled through. Um, but eventually they all get there. They really do.
interesting.
So that's how it works. So no matter how many fucked up things you guys have done in your lives, you can make it right. you know. Glad you're not a serial killer, right? But
Yeah,
yeah.
well, hopefully. When I was at so the psychologist and what the clinical forensic psychologist and clinical psychologist who was in the other episode of Guess Who, the night before she came to shoot with me, she had a show in my city because she does it on tour for a show
Oh yeah,
called
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Psychology of Serial Killers. And she, there's one of the questions someone asked is, by odds, with the amount of people in this room, is there a serial killer here? What are the odds?
Oh,
And she said she thought like in the states it would be higher, but that
interesting.
because they're way more per capita, but that there was a decent chance because they would come and to check it out of curiosity as well.
Do you know why most serial killers are men?
No, I do not.
Most serial killers are men because the act of taking one's life is fueled by a divine masculine energy.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
therefore, the majority of them incarnated with that energy signature into male bodies. Because it makes sense when you have more of a masculine energy to incarnate into a male body or more divine feminine energy to incarnate into a female body. That's why
Hmm.
most serial killers are men. I was going to say most men are serial killers. Most serial killers are men because that the act of taking one's life and causing that kind of harm is a divine masculine. I don't want to say divine masculine. I will say a masculine energy. I wouldn't call it divine. I'll clarify that.
Yeah, just shitty men, shitty men.
When I went to her show, she said the same thing. There's a pretty good chance someone in the audience is a serial killer. Yeah, what are the statistics on that? Like what are the
Uh,
odds?
the
Being
odds on her Q&A session at that show being a real Q&A and an actual audience submitted Q&A are very low. Because
Is it
like I
all
was
like
well,
contrived?
I don't know. I was sitting her show was great, but I don't think the Q&A, I think some of them were already just pre-planned Q&A questions. Some of them might have been legit ones.
Pre-approved.
Either that or she had a really fast tech guy to get the photos of what she was talking of answering questions to get the photos up on the screen. But like
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, there's
but you
definitely
know what?
some
I guarantee they get asked the same questions all the time anyways. Why do more women like true crime than men? That's another one. Why is that? Why do you think that's a
Oh,
thing?
that's a
It's like
really good question. Hang on, I wanna
at
think
that
about it.
show, there was like it was like probably 90% women in attendance at the show. And it was a sold out theater. A pretty big, pretty high seat
I wanna
count in
tune
that
into
theater
that.
too.
I wanna know the answer to that. Why do more
Of course, a swing
women?
set
Because
house.
that's very true. Hang on, why is that? Okay, so the first thing the guys are talking to me about is this is so interesting, is that because men have a more primal energy, like that more I'm
This is what
trying
I've heard
I'm
before.
trying so hard not to use like astrology terms because I have to remember who I'm talking to. No offense, but I'm trying to like find the right words. More of that persecutor energy. It makes them feel almost outed if they show that they're interested in that kind of stuff. It actually feels like, in fact, they are interested in this kind of stuff, but there's a very like, it's like in the closet kind of an energy around it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Women don't have that. What's
what
that?
what site Crime just posted in the chat there? That's what the psychologist was saying about it. She was saying because women want to be able to identify red flags in behavior to avoid being killed or hurt, because they spend a lot of time avoiding it, so they like to watch about it.
Interesting. That makes sense to me. It's definitely
I
not why I watch it, but
I heard that women are more likely to when they do kill, women are far more likely to want to strangle or stab rather than like shoot. Use a gun.
I
And I heard that was because of something to do with like the intimacy almost, or like the physical like connection, which is fucked up.
I could definitely
But
see the psychology behind that for sure.
our mummy issue is a spiritual thing then. Hell's
Actually,
yeah.
they
He's got all
are.
the hits tonight.
They are, though. The mother wound is something that we can carry from lifetime to lifetime, and it plays out in different ways, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a thing.
Okay. We are at 10:25. Why don't you clear Bundy out of here?
Okay.
Do what you gotta do. You show him a tracksuit or whatever it is, it takes to scare him away. Before, I'll tell you after you're done.
Okay, we're good.
Cool. Before, when you were starting the channel and you froze, we were all stuck here. We couldn't tell if you were just really still.
Oh
And then we
shit.
started. We're like, because you were frozen like this, and we were like, and then I brought up Disney again. It's like it's another Disney movie. It's Frozen, and it's like she's really good. She's so still.
Hilarious.
All right.
That's funny.
Okay. I decided for the giveaway, for the all 5 boxes, if you want them, the comment of the night goes to Hell's Dryad for that John Wayne comment or one of the other ones. So I'd like to offer you the boxes if you want them. So let me know in the comments there, or if
Hell's
you'd like to donate them to
Dryad.
somebody else. I do appreciate everybody commenting tonight, but I gotta say that a couple of those comments really cracked me up. So if you want them, they're yours. Let me know. All 5, I'll ship them to you, and I'll pop my email address for the channel into here, and I'll just get you to send me an email.
Dryad, do you want him, Dryad? I gotta hear.
Dryad, do you want them? Tyler Cheeseman is clapping. Dryad probably doesn't.
Homie. Woo! Nice job, Dryad.
Maybe Dryad left.
Oh my god, that would be.
They're really, really good quality. Yeah, Betty has purchased one. If you've purchased one, you know they're good quality.
Dryad, take the boxes.
Dryad. It looks like Dryad. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Cool.
I have to say, for a bunch of serial killer fans, there's a lot of love in this group, and I love that.
Well, you know what?
That.
Breakfast serial killer at gmail.com. That's the channel's email address. Hell's Dryad. Send me an email in the next like half an hour if you wouldn't mind. If it's okay. And I'll respond, and then I'll just grab your name and shipping address if you don't mind sharing that stuff, and I will pack these up and send them off in the next actually it'll have to wait. I do shipping on Tuesday, so it'll be next Tuesday, but I'll send them out at that point. And just so you guys get a little preview of what's coming up, I'm going to be doing these every week on Wednesdays at 9:30. It should be a different guest every week, or most weeks. There'll be 1 or 2 weeks where I don't. I plan on doing like a curated Q&A session for one of them. I've already arranged to have a guy who has a movie channel. He does movie reviews. He's got a pretty big following on TikTok. I'm not going to say his name yet because we're still working out the details, but he's going to come on. We're going to talk about that's in a few weeks from now. He's going to talk about serial killer movies, both nonfiction and fiction serial killers. And He says he's got ones that you've never heard of. So that'll be fun. working on getting a few other people on. The psychologist, Dr. Tolles, is going to come on for one eventually, probably in the next few weeks as well. So we got lots coming up every Wednesday, 9:00. This was really fun. Rebekah, thank you so much for coming.
So fun,
on with
Josh.
me
You're the
again.
best.
No, you're the best. That was great. I'd like to thank Ted Bundy as well for joining us for a few
Giving
minutes.
a bow.
Yeah, he probably is. He's
Yeah.
But
You
this
guys
was
were
great.
awesome. Yeah,
Thank you all, you
great.
guys, for all the comments in the
We like
in the,
Rebekah. I like you
in the
guys.
chat.
Thank you.
And yeah, make sure to keep an eyes peeled. We got new content dropping on the channel all the time. And if you just can't get enough, you can head over to Instagram or TikTok for even more killer content. No, but we do have a lot more coming on the channel, main videos. This was really fun. I'm looking forward to doing more of them. And really happy with the engagement tonight. I hope to see you all back here next week. And bye.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody. Good night.